I want to take a moment to thank Alicia Luick and Mike Ochs, who are the authors of the Up the Ladder narrative writing unit. Without them, the work that I'm doing wouldn't be possible. I'm looking at what they have suggested as a sequence of lessons. I'm looking at the resources from the checklist to the demo text to the post-its and the charts, and I'm using that as a jumping off point on how I'm going to meet my students' need. So I want to make sure that I give them that shout out. I'm also good friends with both Mike and Alicia, and I'm so happy and proud of them for this unit. And I hope that some of you are checking out this unit to help support your kids in meeting them where they are. It's Eric from Written by Hand. It is a Sunday morning, and I have just spent about an hour reading my kids' third story, their realistic fiction piece. And I just want to take a few moments to show you what I was looking for, how I graded some of these, and then also how this is going to impact my instruction moving forward. Here you will see the 4 piles of graded work from the students in my class. The piles range from 4 to level 1. Those are the grades that we use on our report cards. I kept in mind the standards that I was trying to reach. I thought about the criteria that was on the checklist that I'd shared with my students previously. And I kept in mind some other criteria, which I'll show you in a minute. What I want to show you here is I am extremely happy with the spread of what students were able to achieve. I have 15 kids out of 24 were able to get a 3 or higher. I am missing 2 kiddos' papers because they forgot to give me their checklist before they left for the day when they turned in their paper. Here's a list of the other criteria I was keeping in mind as I was grading my students' work. Number 1, are they moving through the writing process? When I say process, I know that I'm really looking for revision. Are they making revisions, or does their rough draft look exactly like the piece that they've turned in? I'm looking to see, did they actually try out the things that I taught them in the mini lessons, those strategies? Do they have a strong story structure? That was something I tried to really pop out this unit. And I'm also looking at the conventions. That's what I mean when I say editing. Finally, here you see my super detailed unit plan for the next cycle of the writing process. I think on Monday, I'm gonna have my kids read the feedback that I gave them. What I did is on the checklist, I just put checks if I think they did it well. I put starting to if I thought it was something that they kind of did but need to work more on, and I wrote goal next to something that I think would be a goal. And then I also wrote each kid a little bit of feedback, naming for them things that went well and things that I think we can work on for our next piece. So Monday, if I've spent the time to do all of this, grading and giving feedback, I want to make sure that they use that and it's going to improve their next cycle of writing. So I want them to read the feedback. I want us to set goals for our next piece. And then I have a leadership and learning binder that I'm going to have my kids put this writing in. They have all 3 of their stories. Maybe I'll do a video on that. So Tuesday will be a generating lesson. Originally, I thought Wednesday would also be a generating lesson, but I think I have to make it a generating into planning lesson. So I think the mini lesson will be generating, and then my mid-workshop will be planning. Then on Thursday, I'm going to get them drafting. This is when I'm going to introduce paragraphs. This is really a conventions thing, but it makes sense to me to introduce drafting then. And especially I'm going to get some of my kids typing then, because if I'm going to have some of my kids publish while typing, I want to make sure that they draft while typing. Tuesday and Wednesday the following week will be both revision lessons, and then we'll do some editing where I'm going to circle back to all the things I talked on before to make sure that they're applying them, as well as trying out this new skill of paragraphing. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to have kids actually make a neat copy to publish. My favorite quote around publishing is that publishing means make public, not perfect. So I don't think it's necessary to make every piece published. So I'm excited to go into this final cycle of narrative writing at the beginning of the school year. And I can't wait for the kids to look through the writing from their on-demand to their second story, their third story, and then their fourth story, and see how their writing has improved. One of the reasons that I'm keeping all of my kids' writing in that binder is so that it's not just something that I have in a file cabinet. That is something that I can grab, I could show to families, I could show to administrators, and my kids can look at it themselves. I want them to see that the work that they're doing is paying off and they are growing throughout the writing process. All right, I'll see you next time, Writing Workshop.